Lester.
Well, thank you very much.
Just do that if you don't mind.
Sure. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
we'll follow you. So you have a birthmark.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Show me.
Looks like a cat.
The ears and everything.
Yes.
So how?
It's even hairy.
You were given a story though by your elders at that point.
Yes.
What was the story?
It was that my youngest uncle, my mother's little brother, had put a cat in the oven, in the wood stove. And my mom opened the oven to put something in there, and the cat came out, and she went, and that's
To
how
her, while she was pregnant with you?
Yes.
Wow.
And that's what my grandmother told me, and that's why I have that on my arm.
So it must have been pretty significant as a child to have a cat birthmark on your arm.
Yes. Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit of what that experience was like?
I guess just having it there, when the other kids would see it, they made fun of me. And so I used to do this a lot. And then I started wearing long sleeve clothes, even when it was like this out.
Do you have any pictures of you as a child with the birthmark?
Not showing it, no.
Not showing it
No,
because
no,
that was always
no, no,
hidden.
No,
Yeah.
I wanted to hide it all the time.
Yeah.
It was an imperfection.
Yeah.
My brother and sister didn't have one.
Yeah.
Why did I have one? And kids can be pretty cruel. Yeah, can be pretty cruel to you. And this is, I guess by then, I kind of got a little bit of a thick skin about it, but still I used to hide it.
Did you believe that cat thing?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I believe in ghosts and myths and there's a lot of things that you just can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any stories at all that came from either of your husbands? That?
I know my first husband, and I mean, you do silly things when you're young. Okay?
Sure.
He used to sit and pet it. You know.
This is the kind of stories I want to hear. See, Lindy, I'm trying to get deeper here.
He would just sit there once in a while, lean over and just pet my
See,
cat,
that's the kind of story I like.
But by the time I got married again, I was in my 50s and he was in his 60s, so that was kind of like out the window, you know. You're a little more serious when you're that age, you know. So, but when you're young, you do silly things.
Did you ever think about having it removed?
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about what that decision was like and when? And
My mother told me, she said, if you really want to do that, go to the doctor and ask him. And I said, okay. So I went and I asked, and he said, yes, I could do that for you. And he said, he's looking at it, and he says, just by looking, he says, I have to dig it out because these things are not just on the surface. He says they go right down in your arm. And he said, and then you're going to have all kinds of scar tissue and puckering and all that kind of stuff. And he said it'd be a lot worse than what you have now. By the time I was that age too, I was a little attached to it. It makes it me.
yeah. Yeah.
I used to kid everybody, you know what, if I was ever like maimed, that you couldn't tell who I was, just look at my arm.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the greatest lesson you've ever learned?
I'd say do unto others. Yes.
Do unto others what
As you would have them do to you. Yes, for sure.
And I mean, I suppose you've met other people with birthmarks.
A few.
Yeah.
A few.
And have you bonded with them and mentioned something or
No.
Because you don't necessarily would want to be treated differently yourself, I
That's
guess.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And because I have one, I guess I've never thought of it that way, but because I have one, when I meet somebody that has one wherever, I look and like, oh, I got one too. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't make a big production out of it because people did that to me and I didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, ultimately, to know that you're not alone
Mm-hmm.
is such a relief,
Mm-hmm.
you know? You see, even if you see an article or read a book or see a movie or something and you know you're not alone, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's some of the important books I've read is like, oh, wow, someone's thinking the same as I am,
Exactly.
or, you know? And that
Of
feeling is so important. And
Mhm.
to share your story that way for others who have the same.
I think that's true in a lot of things.